everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's show, I have the Union Pacific concrete tie loader set, the 5-pack from Microtrains. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. We're going to open it up. We're going to see what it includes and how easy, how hard it is to put it together. So stay tuned, kick back, relax. Got a show coming up. Hi everyone, well, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm your host, Sean, for the Sean Pacific Railroad. So, for quite a long time, I've been wanting to start a Union Pacific maintenance away train. So, I'm going to continue a series. This will be series 1, and I'm going to be updating you guys on this train. Now, this is the first part that I bought. Now, I'm planning on buying a lot more, like maintenance vehicles, hoppers for the ballast, tie crane set, just anything to do with maintenance, cabooses. So I'll share with you guys down the road of this train being put together. But the first part of this train will be this set. We're going to check this out. We're going to see what's in it and how it looks. Alright everyone, well, here we are on my workbench. It's nice and clean and ready for this project. So let's open this up and let's see what it looks like. How easy, how hard it's gonna be. So first off, instructions, of course, the general instructions. Looks pretty simple, but we'll see. So here is the cars. They look so cool. Weathered and super detailed. They look really nice. Let's open one up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Cool. I wish I had a few more of these so I can put some equipment on it. Loaders, some trucks when I get those in. And here's the kit itself. Let's check it out. So it also looks all weathered. So it doesn't look too bad. So let's get one of these put together and see how it looks. Alright everyone, well, according to the general instructions, that the cab, generator, and the other special parts here, there's 4 parts. They need to be all separated. So it says the trim around here, then 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces need to be cut with a fine hobby saw, whatever that is. I don't know what a fine hobby saw is, but I will find out. Maybe I have one, maybe I don't. We'll definitely check that out and see. Hopefully those can be trimmed and come off really easy. So that's where all 4 of those parts are gonna go. So I went ahead and Googled what the tool I needed to trim these or saw these, and this is what it came up. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attempt this and see how easy it is to saw these pieces. Getting there. Whoops, there it goes. I didn't have to saw all the way through, it just broke loose. No, those are separated. Gotta trim this piece here. Gotta trim along there with the hobby saw. Alright everyone, well, I'm cutting away. It's starting to take shape. Now I'm cutting the thick piece from the bottom off. I got the sides cut already. So I'll keep cutting. Still sawing away on the cab. It's almost there. So here's the cab. I want to show you guys how easy it was to sand that thickness down. Not too bad. Check that out. Not too bad at all. So I think the cab may be done. I think the cab looks good to me. Now, separate those two and start sanding. Okay, modified my block a little better. Let's get going. Since this goes to the back of the machine, this is the generator, I believe. Okay, cab, finish, generator. Have this piece to tackle now. This piece left. This piece shouldn't be too bad, it's almost there. Last piece, just about got it flattened. Just about have it. So definitely sandpaper is number one for this project. As long as you get the 4 pieces cut away, you can start sanding and shaping. Now I gotta match the paint. It shouldn't be too hard. I do have some actually UP yellow, but I'll try to keep it at this color. Just got to find that paint. All right, all 4 pieces. That's how it should be looking when I get it on the platform. All right, everyone, well, they came out pretty good. I just need to touch them up, and they do recommend on the instructions reefer yellow. I just happen to have reefer yellow. So I'm gonna touch those up and we'll see how they look. I won't know if they're good enough till I start putting this thing together. All right, guys, so next step is to cut these out and install them. So according to the instructions, it says just leave these platforms on the legs until it's fully assembled. They recommend that. And then cut these pieces and dry fit them. So my other pieces that's not painted yet, those will be glued with a few dots of glue, it says. So just take your time. You have to be really careful getting these pieces out. So tiny. Now, it didn't say use any glue, so we're gonna see first. Have those 3 little pieces in. Actually, they come out much easier than it seems. I just press down. Whoops. And they pop out. Pretty simple. they actually came out really easy. Just snapped in. Alrighty then, well, that's where I'm at for now. I still need to glue those. Glue all this. These handrails will connect or be glued to that cab. Then generator to the back. That, my friends, is Amtrak going northbound. Alright, well, I'm outside. I airbrushed the pieces, touched them up a little bit. They look pretty good. I'm definitely no airbrush expert, but it sure did help to find reefer yellow that I had, because it came out identical to the color. So since I'm painting my pieces over here, went ahead and painted my buildings. These been built months and months ago, and I'm telling you, they're the best paints. They look amazing. Looks so cool. So in the instructions, they do recommend you to dry fit these pieces on the platform. So I did that, but they don't stay, so you do need a little bit of glue. I did use my plastic glue. It does work, but I got it backed up with just some plain old super glue. I'll put a few dabs of that here and there and just on the edges, just to really secure it. All right, well, I glued the generator to the back. All my railings, everything is nice and glued in. Got my steps also glued into my cab. All right, now I have these two pieces in. Now, I should have showed you before I put these pieces in, but there's little patterns on the deck to show you exactly where those go and how they go. Also, I end up using this super glue gel. It's great, got it at the dollar store. I'm liking this the best. All right, so next is the pulley housing. That's these little guys. So the pulley housing, you have to paint red. And that goes on top of the deck there. All right, I got the pulley housing all in with a little dab of glue. Don't look too bad. Okay, next will be this guy. This is the lifting pan, and it comes mounted on a spur, which I think this is the spur because I removed it. That's what it says. Plus, I don't think I was gonna get it to fit underneath there anyways. So now I just gotta touch that up a little bit and paint it. So here it is painted. Doesn't look too bad. So those ribs are staying. It doesn't say to remove them, plus it looks okay. Okay, so pretty much all I have left is the cab, besides the lifting pan, which is drying. So these are the decals for the windows. I think I just might paint them black. Very carefully. See how that turns out, instead of applying these decals. All right, so here's the lifting pan. It's all painted and dried. Didn't come out too bad. I guess it could be a little more redder. I can add a little white to it, but for me, it's good. I'm gonna go ahead and dry fit it underneath, see how it turns out. Okay, well, I got the lifting pan in. Put a couple dabs of glue on it, and it looks pretty cool. Looks just like the picture. All right, so next up is to very carefully cut these off. It says use a saw. I'm gonna try my Dremel. Let's see how that works. First cut with the Dremel saw. Worked great. I recommend that instead of using hobby saw. So the most difficult part went actually really easy with this awesome Dremel tool. So I got those base plates cut off very carefully because they're so delicate, these legs are. Alright, it went well. It came out pretty cool. I haven't blackened out the windows yet. I decided just to hold off on that. I did paint them. I don't like how it came out, so I repainted it. I might try the decals again. But for now, it's pretty close to being finished. All right, well, I'm definitely not an expert, but this came out pretty cool. I like the way it turned out. I'm gonna call it good for now. Later on, I'll go ahead and black out those windows. It will definitely look cooler. So let's check out the cars and let's get those assembled. Concrete tie loads. Now, at first, I couldn't find these. I thought, oh no, they forgot to send them to me, but they were inside the box. I just had to lift this plastic cover off, and they were hiding inside. All right, guys, so next, we're gonna go ahead and assemble these. I already have one assembled. I just did it. This is how it turned out. Pretty cool, right? So it was really easy, really simple. I'll show you how I did that. We're gonna start off with these guys. They're really easy to cut. It says use a hobby saw, but I used a pair of snippers. I'll show you how I did that. All right, guys, so it's really simple. Break these apart. Now it says use a hobby knife, very carefully, but I found that these work really good. They're really easy to break off. I'll show you how. Wouldn't be in a hurry. There you go. This one just comes off. Snip it over here. Oh, there it goes. So they came out pretty easy. I just take it over my sanding block, just a little bit. And that's it. So next is the platform that goes on top of the rail car. Now you just trim there. These you want to trim out also. They will be glued into here and here. It's much easier if you flip it upside down because you can see where you need to cut with the hobby knife. Okay, this one you won't need, but you will need those. So the concrete ties go in here. Okay, so when you're ready to put these down, all you do is a couple dabs of glue. And what I did is I just butt them up to the tie load. This one will always go in the center. It'll come out just like that. Now, I didn't glue these to the cars because I really like these cars. They're really detailed and weathered, so I'm not gonna do that. Maybe later on I might take them off, put them on the side, and maybe put some equipment on there. And this is how it looks with the machine on there. Okay, so I went ahead, I cut out the ramp extensions, and I went ahead and glued them in with some super glue. So it does say in the instructions they are a little long, so I just used my wire snippers and just cut a little bit off, because if you don't, you'll have room underneath here. You want that flat, like I have that one. I don't have the ramp extensions on there yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and put those on. Okay, so you gotta be really patient with the ramp extensions. As soon as you trim the little tab on the bottom, you just need to dab a super glue and hold it, because it's gonna wanna fall. But it shouldn't take about 20 seconds and it starts holding by itself. So now on to these parts. Now, like I was saying earlier, you want to super glue, which I got some glue in there, and then butt them up. Just like that. And this piece will go in the center. There we are. Little super glue. Drop in the center. I use there we go. Almost. Just like that. Right in the center. Then we'll repeat this end, just like I did that in here. These do move around. So I just kind of drop it in there. Couple dabs of super glue. And it's easy as that. So that's another one done. And I just repeat until all the cars are finished. All right, everyone, I'm on my last car and last ramp extension. So I just want to repeat. You want to trim this, not all the way, but just a hair. I use these. Let me trim and I'll show you how much I did trim. Okay, you can't really tell how much I trimmed, but I trimmed quite a bit. You can trim a little more, a little less, it's up to you guys. So I'm on my last deck right here, and then I will finish these pieces, and I'll be finished. We'll get them out on the track and get it rolling, see how it looks. All right, everyone, well, I finished it, and it looks more amazing than ever. This was super fun to put together. It was actually quite easy. I thought it was going to be impossible, but it wasn't, and it came out super cool. Now, I still have to black out those windows, but I'll get to that later. I just want to run this and see how it looks on the layout. So also got to note that I did not glue those down, so they are loose. And I'm thinking they'll hold up pretty well, as long as I take it easy. So let's run this train and see how it looks. Alright everyone, that will wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It may be a little long, but I sure hope if you guys do purchase this Microtrains concrete loader set that my video helped. So any comments, any questions, please leave a comment. I'll get right back to you. Any questions at all on this loader set from Microtrains, I'll be so happy to help you out. So I just want to say, you know what I love to say always, without you guys, this hobby, this model railroading would be a lot harder than it looks. I just want to show you guys what's coming up next video. Union Pacific tie loader 3-pack. So keep your eyes peeled, hit that icon bell, because this is my next project coming up to add on to this maintenance away train. Thanks guys, have an amazing week.